the ground, did the survey work.
Chair, you know, this document is paginated.
It's paginated?
Yes, very well paginated. It's good to point out the document here. The pages. The pages are down here.
So that he can be able to take us on. So, Chair, we have already introduced the governor of the City Council Nairobi and his team about this particular plot that they were evicted from. And Chair, a few facts that maybe to just bring you to speak that had come up is that they were given a temporary allocation in 1992 and a permanent allocation in 1997. But then they say that they made the first gazette notice on the Kenya Gazette in 2007. She was just about to explain, she was explaining how they did not 2007, but she has said that there's somebody who was supposed to appeal their signature. I think the director, who in her words is still doing it today, is that the 2007 Kenya Gazette was to make another one in 2008. Had not included change of use. Chair, that is the only, those are the only, I think, things that we didn't. That being the smart lawyer that I see the seat back to you.
Thank you, Mr. Kenyan. Proceed, madam. Maybe as Senator Maruma was saying, the page that you are reading. We are together on the same page. Senator, you've got another member who joined us. Come on record, please.
Thank you, Chair. Senator Petition, Senator Transer, some member of this committee. Thank you.
For preparation of agreement for lease plot. We paid that money and 2 members signed. I signed, and unfortunately my colleague who had signed. So we are told that after the director has endorsed his signature, will be given our copy. And did survey through the direction of J.O. Oyato, the deputy director. We also paid for the PDP development for it 5,470.
Where is the evidence?
Number. Yeah.
Are you using this document to yes?
Yeah.
No, we want it on this one.
Photocopies.
But Chair, we don't dispute yes, that they've paid.
Yes.
At all. That's what I want.
Now, madam,
Yes,
if
sir.
I may guide you, the county government of Nairobi knew that you paid, there was a survey. Were you given a title deed?
That is now where the problem came in. When we started to put up an institution for the adolescent mothers. So when we went to City Hall requesting for the documents, that is now they start 3 eviction letters from there. And then we already had the survey had already been done. So our former MCA, let me just show you, with our former MCA, and came and did now a second. Divided the plot into two. Yeah, there is this page 17. We had the first beacons were put in on 29/4, 1997 by Mr. Magoha. But now we have this other one, which was now we were again forced to pay for it twice. And then after paying for it twice, they divided the plot into two. That was in 2012. Single mothers, you can see single mothers plot has, you can see 5R, 519, 520.
Which are you referring to?
17.
I've seen page 17.
Beacon certificate.
Groups of the furnished report.
Do you have an extra copy?
Beacon certificate. No. See.
Is a
Can I help you? Can I show you, please?
Yes, come forward.
Chair, there is a document here, because certificate.
Yeah. So that is now a second beacon certificate which has been prepared. So
where is the first one?
The first one had not been given to us. So when we,
before we come to a second one.
Yeah, we had paid for it and we have the receipt, and now that is now where problems comes. When we ask for our documents, we are threatened.
In 2008, you paid for the survey.
Yeah. And
was the survey done?
Yeah, somebody called Mr. Magoga
came and did the survey.
on the ground.
So that this is now officially your land.
Never.
You never received it.
You never received.
So they come back again in 2012.
Again and again.
And ask you to pay.
I paid, and then that is now the time they are dividing now the plot into two. You can see R5, R9. Because up to date, we have never seen anybody coming to complain that why have you put structures on our plot. But when I ask Mr. Mbidi, the surveyor, he tells anything with the plot, they can do anything they want with the plot. So I was asking, surely, mtu amekupatia hii meza, amekupatia. Tulikuwa tumewapatia hii, lakini tumechange mind, tumewapatia hii. Right to information.
Is Mr. Mbidi still looking for the account government of Nairobi?
This plot, which is written single mothers.
Yeah.
This is where you are.
Yeah, that is now what they are claiming is ours. And these are 500 somebody else. But at the moment, the entire.
Okay.
Only we are occupying the entire plot. Yeah.
So you are not being evicted from the whole parcel.
Yeah.
Do you have a title to whatever the county government?
Nothing has been given to us.
Even the small parcel?
Nothing.
And so far, it's like we are not disagreeing, the parties. I wanted to get it clearly, what is their prayer, so that we address that prayer. I'm still very clear. I wanted to get their prayer. What then is your prayer?
Our prayer is for us to be given our title deed and for us to occupy the entire place, because we've been paying rates up to date, and nobody has ever come to claim the place.
Now, originally, what was the area of your land?
That is the whatever 2 hectares approximately.
0.2 hectares.
Yeah, approximately.
And this is the letter of allotment dated 29th of okay.
Yeah. Because we are paid for everything, we are requesting to be given our documents. What we paid for is our right. We need to be given our documents. They came and demolished our workshop. They came and demolished our workshop.
They count. When?
Yeah, they counted. But it was just a minute. Place, they brought a and we had 2 officers from City Hall in Pajeros.
Chair,
Was it with the county government under the present governor?
Senator Newton, allow the lady to answer. Because we are not Christian examining.
No. You know, we are just purposes for flowing together.
I can remember that was 2020.
2020?
Yeah, 2020.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
The reason why I was asking, so that they know, although governments are continue, so that well, I know that did that admission. Yeah, I just wanted to clarity as we continue.
But even the governor knows about this case. Yes. There is no office we have not knocked. He knows about the case.
Okay.
Yeah, even Sonko.
Okay. Now let me summarize your case.
Yeah.
That in 1997, you applied and you allocated some land.
Permanent. The first one we were located in 1991 as temporary allocation. Yeah.
Then in 1997 they gave you a letter of allotment.
Yeah. Now when we identified a donor who wanted now to assist us, and we needed to have a catchment area, permanent catchment area, we applied and then they accepted and we paid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now they were supposed to do the survey, which they did through Mr. Magoha.
Mr. Magoha, yeah.
But they never gave you the title.
Even the beacon certificate, leave alone the title.
Okay.
Even the beacon certificate.
Now you are saying in 2020 or thereabouts.
Yeah, 2020.
Yeah.
2021 morning.
Yes.
They came with the bulldozer and 5 Moroto, the Moroto cars, with 2 Pajeros, 2 officers in Pajeros. I don't know their name, but I can identify them.
Yes.
So they came and told us that we are there illegally. And they told us, I told them that where is the letter from the court? And then one of them told me that they had given a letter to somebody within the center to give to us. So I told him we didn't receive, and he told me that he has a copy in his phone. And because we also have a cyber, I told him, let's go to the cyber and then you print our copy so that we can know what the copy is talking about. So when I insisted that we have to go and print that eviction letter, akatoroka karuka ndani ya Pajero, they went, but now instructed the Mworoto officer, the officer in charge of Mworoto, aingize kata ninile ini wakapomoa.
So, remaining with the portion that you had been occupying?
No, we are still there. Nobody has come to claim, even this R5.
No, for instance, the land you are claiming, the 0.2 hectares is this side. Okay?
Yeah.
You are here.
No, we are still there.
You are still there.
Yeah, we are still there. Yeah, we are still there. Only that one side we had a workshop. Yeah, the workshop, the one which was pulled down.
So what your prayer is that you want your 0.2 hectares land to be given back to you and you get your title deeds.
And you know now what the city is talking, if we talk about 0.2 hectares, they are telling us that means that it is half. And that is why I was telling you when I started my statement.
What the letter of allotment of 1997 says, area is 0.2 hectares.
Yeah.
Approximately. So approximately it could be.
It might be more or less because they are also not sure.
Yes. So you need to get 0.2 hectares or thereabouts, not maybe 0.1 or 0.5.
I think what they need to do, they need to come on the ground and then take the measurements, because
we come to that.
Oh, okay.
We come to that. But your prayer is that whatever they are supposed to give you should not be less than 0.2.
Whatever we want them to give us is the entire from Umeme Sports Ground to Starede Nursery.
No, that is different. That is different from the letter of allotment, because you are saying which says you are supposed to get 0.2.
Didn't talk of the measurements, didn't give measurements, it just gave temporary allocation. But now the measurement came when we requested now for permanent allocation. And permanent allocation, we were still requesting for the same what had been allocated to us before as temporary. Yeah.
So what you are saying is whatever you are occupying at the moment is what was allocated to you on a temporary basis.
Yeah.
And you should not be evicted from that.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Let's conclude on that, because she has already given us.
Yes, no, it's just I'm following up on what you have asked.
Yeah.
Please also allow us to get clarification. So, ma'am.
Yes.
So, if you are given 0.2, if the measurements that you are talking about are taken, hectares, as long as there will be some part remaining, you will not be okay.
That what we want the entire.
Assuming it's 0.6 hectares, the whole land that you are.
Wouldn't mind.
So, not that. So, if you are given 0.2, that is what the certificate indicates. So, you will still not be comfortable with that.
I think that is where we are not understanding one another. Because this 0.2 is approximate. What does the word approximate means? It can be either more or less. So what we want the temporary allocation, we want the same size. Kama itakuja hiyo 0.2, we don't mind. So long as we are there, we are there.
But the prayers are different, or the prayers are specific. Prayer number 2 reads that clarify the true boundaries of the legal status of the land. Ref number CP and ARCH 00219 acquisition of a disused parking lot. And if I look at the receipt, that's what you've been paying for. You know, the receipt in your annex, number 5. So is that what you're looking for, or you want the whole area? Do you
want what we've been paying for, and we've been paying for the whole area. We've been paying for the whole area. Hii area ingine hii R5, R19, R20, R21, who are they and where are their documents?
Chair,
Yes.
just one more. The petitioner talks about wanting a title. Have you at any time in this commission?
There is no office I've never. Again, there was a time when Honorable Ngilu was in Minister of Lands. She requested for our file and wanted to know why our file has not been worked on. And the officer in charge told him that we cannot work on these files because there are some documents we are requesting from Petition and they've never given us.
Chair was asking about that because the National Land Commission is the manager of public land on behalf of national and county land. And if they have engaged, I would begin on the evidence of that communication between you and them, because finally if a title has it will come from NLC. And lastly, to state that what you are given was temporary.
Yes. Any other clarification? Yes, Governor. You have had the case. And they are saying that they were given a temporary TOL, and after some time the county decided to give, and they paid their title. That is number one. Number two, in 2020, people from the county came and evicted them partly from some of that land. To petition Parliament on matters of their concern to them. By your questions, you've finished the petition. Because you've asked what they were allotted, 0.2 is another extra 0.2. Because where I know this place very well. I played football there. That is Umeme grounds where we have Kotubiro. 0.2 hectares is half an acre. So the land they have is half an acre, not a half of the allotment. Closed that this matter has been dealt with in court twice, and they've lost the case. The land they own that is not disputed is a 0.2 hectares, which is half an acre, which we acknowledge is their land. They have the right of allotment, as with many other allotments of public land. The processing, a long time NLC is involved, etc. But the 0.2 is not disputed. Now every title, even your own title, says approximate. There is no title that says exact, because land is not exact. Land is not exact, it's in different shapes. It can be a polygon, it can be a hexagon, it can be what. So all titles are written like that. If you had their names, you'd know these are my mothers, really. Another way. Because the land they want is not available for them. And where the single mothers are, where they are in the map is 0.2 hectares. There's no challenge. In fact, she's making a case for the eviction. To evict you. Because you're there improperly. You're occupying 0.2. The land between Umeme and where you are allotted is another 0.225. You should not be there. legally.
Do you have a plan for
Can I
that?
prove
It is right. Senate Annex with 0.2 and come to us for 0.4. In fact, it becomes 0. What? Yeah, 0.425. And then petition that you need. It was supposed to be 1 acre. That doesn't work, Chair. Chair, in I think my document I sent to the court already determined that. It was determined. They were allotted. When they were allotted, I was actually possibly playing football there because I was in class 7 that time. I was possibly on that ground next to them.
Chair.
But that is the history of that land.
Chair,
Yes.
maybe the governor can point us to the court ruling on this same matter.
Yes, there's a court ruling 2014.
Maybe.
Welcome, Senator Sifuna. Please go on record.
Thank you, Chair. Apologies, I was before the Committee of National Security. We were discussing matters of land, Capitol Hill Police Station as well. You will also give us guidance. The question has arisen on whether we can issue preservative orders before transfer of land when there is a dispute or an issue. So apologies for coming late. My name is Sifuna, Senator Nairobi. I'm a friend of the committee. Thank you.
Chair, there's ELC case 958 of 2014. Angeline Okwea, Nandwa versus Nairobi County Government. The ruling delivered by Justice Mary Mugambi in 2015 that says the plaintiffs have failed to prove on the issue of the 0.2 hectares. 0.2 is not disputed by anyone. The city council allotted them 0.2 hectares. Maybe it is them trusting what 0.2 hectares looks like, how much it is. But that is what was allotted. That is the document you've given us. The rest of the parcels between and the land they were allotted that you're saying R5 are not do not belong to you. Don't. In fact, if you're there illegally.
Maybe I don't know if I can read through chair. If I can respond through chair.
Yes.
If I can respond through you. In fact, the two cases we lost because of the documents they are refusing to give us. Because those documents were those way we were going to prove to the court without those documents. And any time we went for those documents is when they serve. This is a copy of the PDP, initial PDP, and I would like you to look at it and compare with the one.
So the first thing, as you look at that, as a tail, is it 0.2 or not? Or 0.2 documents or what?
This is the initial PDP. Initial PDP. And then now it's on this. And the other PDP. This was prepared in 1997. Let them show us their PDP, when their PDP. This one, compare this.
1997 or 1991?
1997.
For which date?
Chair, does a PDP change the acreage of land? The acreage as specified remains. What does the acreage say?
Yeah. So, Madam, Madam. Yes, have a seat.
Chair, maybe before you give your ruling.
I'm not
kindly. I just wanted to ask Ma'am.
Yeah.
She has said that they lost the court cases because they had no documents. Because the county government of Nairobi has failed to produce or to issue these documents. Question to Ma'am is, if these documents were going to be given to the single mothers,
Yeah.
there would be documents for what acreage of land, considering that the letter of allotment that you have indicates that you are allocated approximately 0.2.
Yeah.
So if you are going to get these documents, if the committee was going to intervene and the county government of Nairobi then issue these documents to you, what acreage in your view would the documents read? Because I believe it would be 0.2 acres.
I believe
which the county government is not disputing belongs to you. So then should this committee, or is your prayer to this committee that we change this acreage from 0.2 to something else, or that the committee assists you in getting documents for the 0.2 acres?
You know, if they had given us our copy of the agreement letter ndio msema kweli. Where is the agreement letter? Because we signed.
Agreement for what?
See, we paid for lease, for preparation of agreement for lease plot. We paid for it. And that is when the time after two of us had signed, they told us that the director has to endorse his signature, and then they give us a copy. So if we had, you know, the lease letter is talking about everything. The size.
You know the lease letter is prepared from the letter of allotment. So if the letter of allotment says 0.2 or thereabouts, it has to be revolved around the 0.2.
But you know, if we had the lease, you know, the lease would give the proper size, and it would tally. Yeah, it would tally with the permanent allocation. But now, why are they refusing to give us the agreement letter? Why have they refused to give us our beacon survey which was done in 1997? The survey could have given us the actual size.
What was the size in 1997 that you were given? The size, what was it?
The surveyor never gave us our copy. They never gave us our copy after doing the survey.
You want to say something? Yeah, through the chair. You know, I feel sometimes terrible for the current administration, because we are having to deal with issues. I walked in when the governor was referencing that some of these things were happening before some of us were even born. Situation where we have to resolve these issues, and we all know the sort of games that have been played in this city when it comes to matters land. I wanted to understand, Angeline.
Yes, sir.
When you were in court, did you have lawyers?
Yeah, we had a lawyer.
Yeah, because I know that when you go to court, the court can compel the defendants or the county government to give you the documents that you want. So I'm a bit surprised. I don't know if that request was made in the court and what the response was. Because the same thing that you want us to do, the court can actually do. And Governor Sakaja, now that we find ourselves in these situations, if those documents are available, we want to give some clarity or closure to the issue. For us to give those documents, I don't think it should be a back and forth.
Yes, Chair, of course. As I'm saying, this is a case where our dear mothers need assistance. Now, from what I know, and from what we have, there were allotted 0.2 hectares. There were 0.2 hectares. That is what is in our records. This is a letter of allotment. there was an eviction attempt in 2020 because they're actually occupying 0.4. So in fact, this petition is now informing me that I should remove them from 0.2 because the other allotees in the land that are saying up until there are people who are allotted that are.
Who are they?
We can get the records because the same way you quote 0.2, then they are getting 0.03, 0.03 from Umeme grounds where we have got the bureau to where you are. Now, how do we save the situation? Chair, whichever documents they require, we will provide. But 0.2 won't change. It is 0.2. And 0.2 is at that corner. Now, the problem, we know, when they are given 0.2 hectares, and they are told, no, you're getting half. The understanding is you're getting half of your land. No, 0.2 hectares is half an acre. 0.2 hectares is equal to half an acre. Where it starts from, where otherwise you go around in circles because that land is not, it's public land. In fact, what you as a good public servant today, because you're sparring this issue that from 2020 no one has tried to evict you. From 2020 I was here as I said, no one has tried to evict you. But when you bring to the notice of a government official that you're on land illegally, what do you want the government to do?
But Senators, Sakaja, no, if this land was allocated to a third party,
Yes.
in 1997, they have not asserted any rights over that land.
They have, that is why they have been
They are just no. The people who are trying to evict are people from the county. Those people who have maybe have documents that they have been allocated that land should have asserted their rights. Gone there.
That is what happened.
Yeah, gone there and with a court order or maybe with whatever document say this is my land now. Small mothers, single mothers, please move.
Chair, I think you should have allowed the government. I think it was giving a way out. For as long as the Single Mothers Association is not claiming more than 0.2.
Yes.
You can go to the ground, ascertain the beacons, and say this is the 0.2. Unless there is something missing.
Maybe through the chair, when they were preparing this document, hapa ndio mchezo ilichezwa. When they were preparing this document, hapa ndio mchezo ilichezwa wakakata.
Letter of allotment.
Hapa ndio mchezo ilichezwa. Because ukiona hata request yetu, when we were requesting for permanent allocation, we didn't request for half. We requested from Sarede Nursery to Meme Sports Ground. Ilikuwaje ikakuja ikakuwa tena nusu.
You can request government for 10 acres, they give you 5. Yeah.
But right to information. You could have informed me.
In 1997 should have told you that what you asked for was 0.42. When I measure, let's measure now on my phone. Documentation. What you asked for from Meme to the end of your land
Sarede Nursery
is 0.42 hectares.
And that is what we requested for.
That's what you requested. What you are given, that you have an letter of allotment, is 0.2.
But you needed to give right to information.
Let's move the chair.
Chair, let me just correct him a bit. Right to information. When you've given me this and then you reduce. Si uko suppose kuniandikia barua, kuniambia nilikuwa nothing has been written. Nothing has been written. I was not informed.
Chair, I want to say that, Governor, now you are like the father for everybody, and you have single mothers here that have a prayer. I think Chair and the Senator, Governor is here and the Senator of Nairobi and this committee are here. I think our priority is let us go and determine the 0.2 first and secure that for the mothers. And it is not difficult to initiate another conversation to go further. But it is important that 0.2 that they were located for, the boundaries are established on site.
Yes, Senator.
Chair, please confirm whether there is an allocation for the other 0.2.
From what let me ask the chief officer in 2014 when this man wrote, the affidavit was written by himself. So just allow you to confirm. Okay. but currently they're in physical possession.
Yes, that one is clear. Yes.
Through the chair.
because we as Senate cannot hire the services of a surveyor. But I think the parties, the goodwill is there. So I want us to direct that and ascertain the 0.2 hectares that they were originally given.